I'm glad I didn't stop. This is so exciting, Lorna. We get to start out in the main studio today. Are you excited?
Well, it's not much happening downtown, that's for sure. It's pretty quiet.
How are you doing, Mary C? Where's Mary C?
What do you think of the changes that Joe did on the studio?
It looks great. It looks a lot bigger, right?
You know me, I always like change things up because it.
I
Right.
wanted to show you, like, on the way in the door.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You can do it. You
but
can
that's
do it.
okay. No, it doesn't matter. But I just wanted people to imagine, like, what it's like to come in and what they see. So if you come in, you go right down here to our studio die. So follow me. You go right through to our studio dies, and it's just so pretty. We changed it around last week. So these are all our studio die. This is our Malabrigio, which is nice and thick, beautiful. We've got some of, I'm going to use this with you later today. It's called Pressed Flowers, and it's in chunky. But the thing about Megan is that every batch is a little work of art. So this one looks a lot different to me than other times. So we always photograph it new every time. And this is a new yarn. We just got a whole lot of it in. We've had it before, but we haven't had it for a couple of years, and it's called Sulka, and it is a really soft wool alpaca, but it's 20% silk. I'm not using that today, though. This is pretty amazing. Maybe I'll take that in with me. Okay.
I love the Sulka.
You love the Sulka?
Yeah, I love
because it's so
with
soft.
It. Yeah.
And I like the sheen that it gives. So then come around here. These are also our studio dyes. I'm loving old gold. So every batch is different, and when it's somewhat different, we take a new picture every time. I'm loving the old gold, and this is really cool. This is Greg's Gray. It's a tweedy Greg's Gray. I think, like, can't you just see Greg wearing that sweater?
Yes.
I know. It's like Greg's color. But we've got some gorgeous colors here. So say if you wanted to have a really interesting sky, you could mix faded denim and blue petunia, and there's your sky. And these are 4-ply. So, but what I really want to show you today is the yarns that we're going to be using this afternoon. So, we just got a new selection of Masham Boucle. And look at all the colors we have it in. From candied pink, which is a color that is really gorgeous, and you're going to see some pinks in my rug. We've got candied pink to neutrals to naturals. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 new colors of Masham Boucle. So we are not fooling around. We got gorgeous colors. If you're hooking C's, you might want to look at Blue Jewel. It's a Mineville wool, and it is a merino stream. Then the other new yarn we got is this mini skeins, and it's called Othello. And they don't look like much when you look at them like this. They're $6.95, but when you actually unwind them, you get 25 yards of yarn, and it's quite a nice yarn. So I'm going to use one of these in there today. So, and I think they're $6.95. I'll never get that wound up so tight again. Come on over here, because I've got another little surprise for you.
I love these. They're so much fun.
They are so much fun. They're so beautiful. Oh, there we go. Not bad. So this yarn I'm going to show you now is a yarn that I have not been able to get for 10 years. And we found a new supplier for it. And it is a chunky curly locks. It's called Loopy Loop. And we're going to use some Loopy Loop today. But just look at this. So if you've used curly locks before, that's just great. And you'll know what it's like, except for this is great big curls. So it's a lot looser, it gives a lot more texture in your rug. So I'm going to show you about all those yarns inside because I'm using them. When new yarns come in, I often integrate them. The other thing I want to show you that we put on the website this week, and this will be the end of our little studio tour, our little beginning, is this beautiful cloth. So you can buy a whole yard of an overdyed blue if you want. And it's a big yard. It's 60 inches wide. So we have that in 8 colors, and they're gorgeous colors. And now we need to call on Mary Williams to come out. Are you coming out? Yeah. Do you want to bring your rug, Mary?
Well, the pattern's right there.
Yeah, but you had your rug you were working on. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so let's see what you're working on. Mary wanted some feedback on a rug. I decided to take this pink. I'm going to keep it. Okay. So, Mary, you're struggling.
Right. Well,
so this is your pattern.
This is my pattern.
Right.
And it is 1,
You have to speak up, Mary.
2, it's 4, right?
Right.
4 different,
And it's called organic sunflowers.
so initially I thought I wanted to do something a little different. So I wanted to outline it in orange. I did it orangey, very rusty.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it at all, so
Right.
I took it out. And then I started outlining it in brown. I'm not sure about that. And then I'm wondering, we have 4 sunflowers. Would I make them all the same color, or would I make them different colors?
What's your inclination? What's your thought?
Well, I wanted to make them different colors, but
Yeah.
so 1 and 3,
What?
1 of one color and 3 of the other.
You could do that, or you could make all 4 of them unique and different if you wanted.
Okay.
I think you could.
Yeah.
So the first thing I would say to you is that, like, this is the way I would approach it, right? So you don't have to do this, but I do like here. I really see that you've gotten the shake of because the shake of the leaf is really important in this one, right? So here I see that you've really gotten the shake of the leaf. In some places, I don't see the shake of the leaf so much on your. So that's important in this
Okay.
pattern to keep to really. So just work with
All right.
that a little bit. So I love what you did here.
Okay.
The thing I think that's going on is when we traditionally think of a sunflower, I think we think of the middle as brown, right? And I feel like with outlining this in the browns is taking away from the center. So the color is being pulled in different, like that brown, which is the focus of the sunflower, is getting pulled in a lot of different directions here. And I think it would have happened with the orange too, because brown relates so much to orange.
Exactly, because I had started with some of the big merino gold
Yeah.
here, and I didn't like it at all.
So what I would do is not outline in brown. That would be my first thing, or in a color related to brown. So I'd leave the brown for the centers, because we have 3 centers. We have this one here, we have this one here, and we have this one here, and we have 4, and we
4
have this
centers,
one here.
yeah.
So I would save my browns all for my centers.
Okay.
But I love what you did here. See what you did with your outlining. So if they're 4 different flowers, they could be outlined in 4 different colors if you want it. So you could have one outlined in navy, maybe one outlined in maroon, one outlined in black, right? Depending on what you were going to do in the insides. But it just goes to show you how important outlining is in a rug. Like, to me, it's a very important element of hooking a rug, is because what you're doing is drawing it again. So even by outlining it all in brown, one of the things that you're creating for yourself is a puzzle. It's really hard to see what's where, right?
I'm seeing that.
So if you do decide to outline it all in one color, you might want to outline one flower and then hook it and then another.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
a good idea.
those are my recommendations.
Okay, that's a good
So as
idea.
to mix up, but you're doing some things really great. Like these lines are awesome. That shakiness, and I love that you outline like 4 different colors, or not, well, 3 different colors, but
Right.
that looks really
Okay.
good. So where are you going to go with this now? What's your thought?
Well, I think I'm naturally more inclined to outline all in one color.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So I could do like the maroon over there. Would that work?
Yeah, I think that would work. Yeah.
And I purchased this,
That's sugar beet. Yeah.
and I purchased another one over here yesterday. This, because I loved it.
Yeah.
Or I don't know which one it was. Some of these anyway. So I purchased.
So you're going to bring those in.
Because I
Yeah.
they're so sunflowery looking, right?
So do one flower at a time,
Right. Okay.
right? That's what I would do. Now, are you thinking of doing them? If all of these flowers are the same color, it's going to be really hard to distinguish
yeah,
them.
okay.
I think so. I think
right.
the idea of, and like to me, these are on a similar tone, whereas this one might, and the other thing you could do is you could put this sort of on the inner, so that one flower is, because you do want some orange in there.
Yes,
You
for
do.
sure.
And you know how some of those flowers, I don't know if it's Russian mammoth or what it is, but some of them are very orange.
they
No,
are, yeah.
Russian mammoth is very yellow. That's the great big one, right? but there's some that are very orange.
Okay. I plant Valentine because they're not as tall.
Oh, it's because they're not as tall.
Yeah.
How come you don't want them tall?
Just easier to cut and make bouquets with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah. So yeah, you could do, the wine looks really nice with this. So just do outline one, fill it in, and then work the
Okay.
next. And you know, you could outline like 3 of them in wine, and then just the other one just a little bit different.
Okay.
That's a thought, just to give it so that it will stand out from the others. These are my thoughts. This is the organic sunflower pattern on our website, and it attracted you. Why, Mary? What attracted you about that?
Well, I just love the leaves.
The rough
ruffled.
leaves,
Yes.
yeah.
Just very organic looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
For
right.
you, Mary, or is this for new housewarming gift?
Oh no, it's probably for me.
It's probably for you.
It'd make a great pillow.
It would make a
It would.
sweet pillow
I like
on your
to make
sun
pillows.
porch. Would be
Yes,
really
yeah.
nice.
For my
Yeah.
sun porch.
Yeah, it would look really nice. Mary has a really nice sun porch that she puts a lot of love into.
I
All
do.
right, let's go see what Terry's
Thanks,
doing
Deanne.
today. What are you
Bye,
doing,
ladies.
Terry?
Bye.
What are you doing today?
I'm building beginner kits, and this one I'm building is the County Moon one.
So you started with the moon.
I started with the moon, yeah. I have a recipe that's
Yeah.
been written up, and I'm starting with the moon, and I have stuff for the sky and stuff for the green mountains.
That's over dyed there. Yeah.
Some over dyed.
Some
and
cloth.
Some cloth. I'm going to mix this in with the sky.
Yeah.
And
Sweet.
yeah.
Great. Thank you. You got
You're
to find
welcome.
some interesting dark goals, I guess, do you?
Yeah, well, I had picked some this morning, and they were still.
Oh, yeah, some nice cloth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And Greg is dying in here. What color are you going to throw in there, Greg?
This one's called Annuity Field.
You
you
speak
wanna-
up, Greg.
Do you want to lean over there? This is Manuti Fields. See what he's doing?
It's the New Zealand stream.
We used Manuti Fields last week, I think.
Yeah.
Got your citric acid in there.
We'll let it sit for a while.
So that's probably to fill some of the orders we had with our free shipping last week. Thanks, Greg.
You're evil.
Evil. And here's Joe, and he's got a great shirt on today. Angela's working on some new posters for us so that people can get a print without some of our images. And now it's time to hook, okay? It's so nice that I can take you throughout the whole thing. It just makes me so happy. Okay, so here's where I'm hooking. I forget what this green is called, but Mary had cut it open yesterday and I stole the rest of it. Alrighty. So in here, there's going to be some apple blossoms. And I'm going to use the Othello in the blue. These, Joe, these are numbered, aren't they? Yeah, so they're all under new products, are they, Joe?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I need some blue here now to get in between. So what I'm working on is a version of this, a new version of this. And I want to show you how that curly locks works up. The loopy-loo. Is it loopy-loo?
Yes, it's
Loopy-loo. Loopy-loo. All right. Oh, there's 5% mohair in it, is there?
It's 95% mohair.
95% mohair. 95% no mohair. Wow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut open my Marisol, my Sulka yarn. And I'm just going to go, you know that we had some pinks last week. I'm just going to go grab my bin of pinks. So I've got some, this was a gift, a hand spun gift. And then I have some of this pale pink here. I'm going to just pull out some of these. And then I have my New Zealand stream in a pale pink. All right. First thing I'm going to do is turn this around. So, excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. I just need to give this a big switch here. And I'm gonna hook it upside down. So I'm using the same browns that I used last week. They're really nice and dark. This brown is, it's, what's this brown called? The Peruvian chain, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a great brown. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and establish my line here. Okay. So, here we go. This is what I was talking about with Mary, keeping your line wiggly. Oh, I'm using my linen scissors. There we go. I'm excited to show you what we're doing here. So I live on an old farm property that's full of apple blossoms, and so this rug is kind of about those blossoms, and it's kind of about walking by the woods every day and what the woods look like. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of creating some lines for my blossoms. So let's get you guys commenting now. What do you want to talk about this week while we hook? Do you have any questions that you want to ask everybody? Anybody got a question? Joe, do you have a question that we might ask people?
I'm thinking.
You're thinking. Okay. Let's.
How are people's gardens going? Is anybody planting everything yet?
Yeah. Okay.
It is gardening season.
It is gardening season. Are you out in your gardens? Or are you more... All right. Are you out in your gardens and what are you planting? That's what we want to know.
And actually, what's their worst weed?
There. Now that's what Joe wants to know. What weed is getting in your way?
I know I might have a strawberry today.
You might get a strawberry
My
today,
first
Lorna?
one just was a little bit
Oh,
white.
did you have strawberries last year?
We had some. Last year was kind of the very first year.
Right.
So they didn't really do so well, but this year they're big
really
and beautiful. And
Gorgeous. Okay, let's bring our sulka in while you guys tell us what your worst weed is.
And if they're looking for Sulka on the website,
Yeah.
it's spelled S-U-L-K-A.
Sulka on the website is S-U-L-K-A. All right, so I'm going to add some white in here too.
they finally got some sun in England.
Oh, good. We're getting quite a bit of rain ourselves here. Some sun in England. That's nice to hear.
There's a tornado watch for Ottawa.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, see how these blossoms are a different color than those blossoms? That's okay. I want that. I want like a little bit of variation. I'm happy with that. Now, what I do need though is some white, because what I want to do is get that boucle and that mash and boucle and this in there for you. So I just got to get a bit of white. White, white, white. There we go.
Joe, someone said a binweed. You know what
I
that
don't know
is?
what a bigweed is.
B-I-N-D?
I'd have to see a photo of it.
Bindweed?
Bindweed?
I don't know.
I think that's bad.
I don't know. I'm not really sure. Okay.
Somebody else is having problems with thistle and dock and bird vetch,
Wow. They got lots.
buttercups.
Oh, I know. A weed, I once read that a weed is I love buttercups. I love to put them under my chin, make a wish, But a weed is any flower that you don't want. That's what some people say. Like, anytime there's a flower somewhere where you don't want it, they call that a weed. Some people feel that.
Somebody's got poison ivy everywhere.
Oh, my friend Denise has trouble. Oh, she's gotten poison ivy a couple of times on her legs. It's not fun, I'll tell you that.
And of course, dandelions this time of year.
Yeah. Okay. Now, we got that in. I'm going to take this, just another brown. So I just have to tell you, just so that you know and you understand that I don't have a clue what I'm doing here. Like, I'm just hoping that this rug turns out. And someone said, well, maybe you don't know what you know. Well, that's possible. It's possible I don't know what I know, but I'm feeling like, whew, I just know that I'm just kind of really, this is what we do in the inspiration sessions. They're not open right now. I want to tell you something, though, that we added to the inspiration sessions. So if you decide to join next year, we're going to have a hook in each month as part of our session. So that makes me really happy that we're going to be doing that.
You have any velvet on the table?
I do. Do you want to see a little velvet?
Well, I'd love to see how you hook with it.
So let's put a little velvet in here now. I'm going to take that and I'm just going to wrap it around my hands. And we have beautiful studio velvet. It is rayon and silk. It's really lovely. To me, what's in the wool matters and what's in the cloth matters. Like, I just really, so I'm just going to hand cut that. That it's just, I don't know. I'm a bit of a wool snob. I love my wool. Okay. So then I'll take the velvet. The one thing about hooking velvet is you have to hold it nice and flat while you're hooking it. And let's put a little velvet in here. Oh. Oh, see that? So I hooked it up backwards. You want the soft side up. So one of my shows that I love, it's called Borgen. I think it's called Borgen. It's about a Danish woman who is prime minister. They have a new season on, so I've been watching that happily. Okay, now we're getting to those yarns that I showed you right at the beginning. And then, look at that. So this is my, this is my loopy loop.
You're doubling that.
And I'm doubling it. You don't have to double it, but look what happens when I pull that up. It's like, yeah. So I've been working on this rug a lot. Okay, let's do it again over here. This time I'm just going to take 2 big strands. See the sulca, what a nice sheen it has? Okay. Now for the background here, so that's my this is my loopy loo. So you can get really a lot of action with this one yarn. It's really gorgeous. Love it. Okay. Now the next thing I want to pull out, so this is the other yarn that I'm going to use, and it's a Quago, and it's a Masham. It's just beautiful. What's in this one? 100% wool is all it says. Okay. So this I'm just going to use one off. And so what I want to do is kind of show a lushness or a fullness here, right? So these yarns are perfect for that. I'm going to dig in there a little bit. And I'll go over on the other side. The brown. Just gonna go back to my sulca. I'm gonna double my sulca this time. I don't know if I did it last time or not. Put that in there. Now, this yarn here is what I showed you outside, and it's the Pressed Flowers by Megan. And I think what I want to do now is I want something that's going to show some depth in here. Gotta pick up my... Okay. So I'm not going to split this one. I'm going to hook it.
This was the yarn yesterday. Everybody was oohing and on over.
This is the one, everybody. Yeah, I know. I think staff were buying some of it. Okay. So now I want to get in here and I want to, so I have these layers of depth in behind this dark green and in behind here. So now I need to put something in behind. And so
They're asking that the loops are really high on the loopy loop. Does
Yeah.
that matter in the finished rug?
No, it doesn't matter. Now, I'm just going to, okay, we'll come back to that because I want to talk about the loopy loop. That's the way I hooked it. You don't have to hook it like that. You could hook it like this. And that's good too. This is a single ply, right? And you could hook it a little bit lower, which I think is also very nice. That's a really good point, whoever asked that question. Thank you for letting me point this out to you. Okay, so there we go. Even if I double it, I can hook it low. So let's bring it over here if I want to.
Probably just depends on the look you're going for, does it?
Yeah, just depends on the look you're going for. Now, I know this probably looks like a mess to you guys, but could you just show them that rug in behind so that they know that this is that's inspired by that. So, you know, there's something good gonna come out of all of this. All of this. Because there's a lot of stuff happening here. You know what I mean? Like, I could take this and throw it up in the air and throw it down again, and I wouldn't be, there'd be no more mess. Okay, let's go back to pressed flowers, because this is beautiful. Okay, so now this is going to give me distance over here, right? I need a bit of dark green. And then I'm going to stop. But I can't hardly stop now, because I'm, you know, it's kind of exciting, right? I want to show you what I got going on. All right, I'm in the zone, is right, Lorna. I'm in the zone. I've been in the zone all week, haven't I? I mean, you guys have hardly seen me this week. Well, you've seen me enough, I guess. But I've been, had my head down over this frame. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want some depth in behind this. And I think this yarn's going to do it for me. And it's going to pick up the pinks over here. Okay. Let's get it going on. And when I have that one yarn, I don't have to do too much work, right? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so that's all I got to show you today. Now I want to go out and I want to wind up the show by taking a little studio walk through again and going back to all those colors of that curly locks and that koigu, and I'm going to leave you with that because it's just so beautiful. So come with me. Oh, if I can stop.
Yeah.
If you can get me up out of here, I'm coming. But, well, do we want to go back out there and look at the colors again? Is that what you want to do? What are people saying? Do they want to go out there and look at the colors again? Because I had so many ideas for this show today. Well, okay, I want to do something else for the show today. Now I'm going to take the dark green. I can't stop. I can't hardly stop because I can see what's going to happen here. And I'm going to tell you something else, something different. Instead of taking you back out there, traipsing through the whole studio again. My birthday's coming up, you know. You don't have to wish me happy birthday. I get all kinds of birthday praise, but it's coming up. Tonight I'm going out with some friends, some girlfriends, and we're going out to dinner, and just the people so this is something going on here that I can't even leave it. See how that line is like that? I just hate it. It's just like this big round line, so we're just going to fix that up right now. Get that shape. So, I love my birthday. I think everybody should love their birthday. You should celebrate things, right? It's the day you were born. Lorna doesn't love her birthday. No. She hides. She goes away and hides. But I guess everybody has a right to try to treat it the way they want to, right? Because it's your birthday. But I love my birthday. Kind of fun.
I'm not one for the attention, right?
You're not. And what are you saying, Lorna?
Yeah. Well, you know, we're just different that way, right?
Yeah,
and
I know.
And Gabby's doing
Yeah,
it that way, right?
yeah,
And
that's
it's not-
true.
That's just not me.
But I kind of love like savoring my birthday myself. A lot of times I will take off and just go do something by myself.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Like, but it's a nice thing. So this is what I wanted to talk about today. I called my friend recently, my childhood friend, and this is a picture of me when I was a little tiny girl. And this is her, and this is her other sisters, Jeanette. Her and I were friends. I think that's Tish. And anyway, so this is us as children, and this is what we lived. Then you could see the clapboard house in the background. This was her house. So, and I also have this picture here of me as a child. And I just wanted to say to you that it's really nice to keep a picture of yourself as a child around, because it's sort of, well, one thing, it kind of reminds me to be that person, to be that little child. But also, I keep a few of them here. But also, when you look at that little child and you think, you can remember how creative she was and who she was and what she was like. And it's kind of nice to, I think, on your birthday, to take a little bit of time and reflect on that a little bit. It's just kind of sweet. And when you look at yourself as a little child, I think you sort of really, I don't know, I think it's a great way to reflect on who you are now and where you came and all the creativity that you've grown with and stuff. So for years, I've kept a picture of myself as a child around. And I think it's a really nice thing to do for yourself. So that's just one of the things I wanted to mention to you today, is to sort of grab a little picture of yourself as a kid, because I think when you look at yourself as a kid, you think, oh, it makes you just go a little easier on yourself. Do you think that, guys? Can you see what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you just sort of like, you just look at yourself and you realize that, yeah, you're just this little person who needed to be loved and protected, and that you still are that little person who needs to be loved and protected. And all the creativity that she had in her, that for years, for me, disappeared, it's all back again. And for you guys, it's the same. All that creativity that you had in you, how you weren't afraid to draw and how you weren't afraid to try things, then that's still in you. So I think that's a nice thing to do for yourself. That's my thought for today. And we saw Greg dyeing some of the beautiful New Zealand stream. He was doing Manuti and Manuti Fields, I think. And we saw all the gorgeous new yarns and the new textures in today. And I'm going to leave you with that. And remember, when you share rug hooking, you don't know what you're sharing. You're giving people a way to use their hands, a way to be creative, giving them something to do, something to love. And I was talking this week, was interviewed on a podcast, and it's all about community, community, simplicity, and tradition, and those are all good things. So that was on my mind today, about sharing the picture. I've got work to do here, so I'm gonna let you go. And I think we went a little longer today than we usually do, but anyway, that's it. See ya. Have a good week. End.